Hello everybody, back here again for vlog a day, and today is Sunday the 5th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly decent time frame, got the dog outside, got him taken care of and stuff, decided to jump in the hot tub, and it was not hot enough yet. It was like in the 90s still, and it was definitely not good. It was one of those situations where you're like, this was not hot tub. This was a warm tub at best, and it was definitely not very desirable. So I went ahead, got in it for a little bit though, at least kind of fill it out, and not that big a fan of what that is. I don't know what that woman is doing, so I don't know what the hell. Just like parked there. I don't trust weird, crazy people. I don't walk in front of their cars, and that is one of those weird, crazy people I don't walk in front of. So no one around, no cars coming in, so they're there like all the time in the world to go, but she like was weirdly waving at me, like that whole like telling me to go in front of her. I'm like, not gonna happen. So but I got up, got in the hot tub, basically hopped out of there, got dried off, and then hung around a little bit in the morning. My wife and mother decided they wanted to go to the store, and I've been trying to convince my mom, since my wife's not going, why don't we go like during the week when it's dead, like there's nobody else around? Why are we going on the weekends when it's mad packed? And especially since Karen's not going, but since Karen wanted to go, and she hasn't been since she broke her knee, she hasn't been to the grocery store and that, so I was like, we'll take them. So went ahead back and forth. Mom still don't drive, Karen can't drive yet, and Mom did start talking about trying to buy a car because we had some issues with some medical appointment come up on Wednesday where it's going to be a bit of a pain in the butt. Her and Karen ended up the exact same time frame for doctor appointments, and one's here in town, one's in Port Orange, and then I have dogs getting dropped off, and it's just kind of a mess. So trying to figure that out, but we got it all figured out, and it's all good to go. So it's all set up and done with. So but went ahead, Mom moved her appointment to tomorrow, which worked out fine. So but went ahead and got around, told them, I said, hey, Karen come out and asked if we could leave like a half an hour. I said, let's make it 20 minutes, I'll be ready. So went ahead, took them to the store. They wanted to go to Aldi and then to Winn-Dixie both. So dropped them off, went to Aldi, went ahead. Wife decided she wanted to walk. She didn't want the wheelchair, which I think would have been easier to beat her in the wheelchair. But because Mom could have pushed the cart, I could have pushed her in the wheelchair. But it is what it is. We walked around the store, basically did our shopping, got a bunch of stuff for us and then for her father. And that man eats a lot of garbage. He really does. But hey, it makes him happy, so whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, we bought all that stuff. Aldi got a bunch of stuff there, threw anything in the cooler that needed to stay cold, eggs and all that kind of fun stuff, and then headed over to Winn-Dixie, and it was just a madhouse at Winn-Dixie. Holy crap, it was busy. They were doing the Cub Scout like food drive thing, whatever, I guess, where they had a bunch of people buying stuff, taking out there, and they were sorting them, putting them in boxes for like, I guess, breakfast stuff, dinner stuff, and, I don't know, canned foods and drinks and whatever. They had the little assembly line going, and parking lot was slammed packed. Holy crap. The store inside, I dropped them off the front door, went and parked, headed in, met them, and it was just slam packed in there. Holy cow, it was ridiculous, and it is what it is. So I spent way too long in there. It wasn't horrible, it wasn't bad. Got out of there, got back to the house, got a couple things done. I was planning on going up to an aquarium show up in Daytona. I saw it a couple weeks ago, and I told my wife, hey, I want to go to that. I'm going to try and go up to it. It's like 25 or 35 bucks to get in, whatever. Not a big deal. I'm like, no problem. And I was like, as I went on my cruise, didn't really think much about it. Got back. It was yesterday and today both. Yesterday I went and picked up my hot tub, so I didn't bother. I was going to try and run up there after I picked my hot tub, but by the time I got the hot tub positioned and set up and leveled and got the thing filled and all that kind of stuff, it was kind of that weird late time. So the hell didn't bother going. So went up there today, basically headed up, took my time going. There wasn't like a big fast hurry. Got there, really, 1 o'clock was the cheaper entrance. You can get in at 1. So I basically pulled up in there a little bit before 1, and they had the one parking lot blocked off for just the vendors and stuff, which is fine. And there's another free parking right over by there that they had like blocked off. Now, I don't know if they're official people or not, but they were charging like 20 bucks for parking, and the other parking lot that's normally like 15, it was full, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So I'm driving around like looking for like an off-site parking, kind of just like a regular on-street parking thing. And I was just looking at it, and I'd been reading a bunch of stuff. People were saying it's more of a selling spot than necessarily like a demonstration show, because I was thinking it's more like a trade show type thing where it's displaying all the newest stuff and kind of whatnot, and you can order things and tell you, hey, this is what's coming out, this is new stuff out. And as I drove around looking for a spot, I saw people walking out just carrying all the same stuff like you used to be able to get like at all your general pet stores back in the day. They just go walking out with like aquarium logs and bags of gravel and gravel vacs and kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, this is actually just like a show where you buy stuff at. Like, this is more of a flea market selling spot than it was. That's what a lot of things said. A lot of people was being grumpy. And I was like, I'm already paying like $35 to get this damn thing. Now I got to pay another $20 to park, and I'm only going to be here for a few hours, like 2 or 3 hours at most. And the thing that drove me nuts was like no re-entry in the parking garages and the parking ramps and stuff. And I'm like, well, that's stupid, which I wouldn't be there long enough to matter, but it just felt money hungry. It felt like it was just like, now, especially just me. Like, if there was 4 of us in the car, it'd be $5 each, it wouldn't be a big deal. Or even if I was going with some other friends, if I paid it myself, I wouldn't care. But I just couldn't bring myself to spend, at this point now, $60, $55 where it would be to get in. And I was just like, no, I'm good, dog. So I left, and I was a little bit annoyed with myself because I didn't spend the money. But I'm thinking for $50, $55, $60, whatever it was going to be, just to get in the door. I don't even have an aquarium set up. I was going there basically just to sightsee. That's all I was going for. And again, didn't have a problem paying the $35 to get in because they got to make money. And I like shows like that because it keeps all the riffraff out. People have zero intention of buying anything, kind of like myself, but especially keeps people out with little kids. They'll have one adult come in with like 5 kids from the neighborhood or 7 kids from the neighborhood. I've seen that before also. So I'm all for that. I have no problem with it at all, but I just couldn't bring myself to pay $20 to park. I'm just like, so dumb. It is what it is. So left there, on the way back, I decided I was going to stop at BJ's, which we have membership for. Also left there, I'm like, well, I'm going to look for my wife a car because she's still needing a car, and if I can kind of pick out what I think might work for her and who has what in stock that we actually can buy and not order and wait a year type shit for, then I'll kind of know, and it'll save her the day of driving to every single lot, getting in and out of the car over and over again. I can kind of line up, hey, these are the cars you gotta look at, let's go look at them, let you drive it, then bring one home, hopefully. And I went to the first dealership, and I got it out of the car. An old man approached me, asked me who I was there to see. I said, no one. He looked at me all weird as shit. I'm like, I don't have an appointment. He goes, oh, what are you doing here? And I'm like, well, it's a fucking dealership. I'm here to look for cars. And he goes, I go, I'm here to look for cars? He goes, what do you want? I said, well, I'm looking for something fun. I know you guys have the Supra. I don't know what else Toyota makes that's fun, but he goes, well, you can't get one of those wheels. They're a year out. You don't even have those in stock. And I go, okay, cool. You don't have anything else fun? He goes, well, you're going to wait a year. And I go, well, is every car you have here a year? He goes, well, before we used to have 20 cars in the lot. Now we only got like 3. We don't have anything in the lot anymore. Can't get cars in the lot. Just grumpy bastard. And I said, well, okay. Guess I don't need to deal with you. So I got back in my car. I said, well, thank you. You've been very unhelpful. So I got back in my car. So I don't know if Toyota makes things fun or not, because like, I hate doing the online search. A lot of times you'll go on YouTube, look up shit, and it's only available like in Ohio, or only available like in Japan, and there's all this weird shit. I said, I'll just walk in. It used to be an experience. You'd walk in, you talk to a salesman. He sells these cars. He's been here for a while. He knows every Toyota brand there is. He knows all about it. I can tell him, hey, this is what my wife wants. She wants something cute, something fun. Let's move on. Nothing. I was like, wow, this is bullshit. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I left there. And then as I left there, I went over to the Nissan dealership. And no, I went over to the Kia dealership and looked, and didn't have anything I really wanted there. And then I stopped at the Cadillac dealership, and they had Buick also. And Buick had a convertible not that long ago. But I didn't know if Cadillac, I know they used to make the XLR, they used to make the little Corvette convertible. That was basically a Corvette with a Cadillac body on it, so it was. It was kind of a nice setup, but they don't make that. He's basically the old grumpy man, like there's nothing they had in the convertible world, and basically told me to stop wasting time and get out of there. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why not? I don't know, maybe try and sell me something, you know, show me your funnest thing you have. But I'm like, whatever. So I left there, like, no big deal. From there, headed over to Daytona Auto Mall, stopped in the first little spot there. The first dealership's like an Alfa Romeo dealership, and told him I was looking for a convertible. I guess Alfa doesn't make anything convertible. They did have a Maserati that used like a 2019 whatever they were trying to sell me. I'm like, dude, that's like a 4-year-old car, man. Like, I'm not looking for a used car. And he's like, oh, it's got the Ferrari engine in it. I'm like, I don't give a shit. First, it's red. My wife don't want red. 2, we don't want used. If I'm going to spend $86,000 on a car, it's going to come with a 100% warranty. This will have some warranty left. I said, does it have 5 years? Does it have 10 years? Does it have a 100,000 mile bumper? And he goes, oh no, it's not got that much left. I'm like, yeah, because half the warranty or more is used up of it. So he goes, well, you can always buy it through an aftermarket company. I said, never going to happen, dude. I said, no, I'm good. I'm like, I don't care. I want new only. So I left there. Those guys were super helpful. He goes, maybe I have some Dodge. I said, Dodge don't make anything convertible. He goes, oh yeah, we have the Challenger over there. And they're sending them off to have them customized. You can basically cut the top off, put a convertible top on them, and they're charging $30,000 to $50,000 above what you pay for the Challenger on top of that. And I'm like, I'm not paying. I'm not gonna be $100,000 into a $60,000 car or a $40,000 car because it has a convertible top put on it. That's just ridiculous. Not gonna happen. And I was wanting to kind of see. He walked over there and stuff. Didn't even have one in stock anyway. Wouldn't help me. Asked about the Jeep. And I said she just doesn't want a Jeep. Jeep would be perfect for all this, but doesn't want a Jeep. So you can take tops off, take doors off, all that kind of stuff. The one thing I don't like about the Jeep for her is, unless we do soft top, like folds back on itself, she's never gonna take the top off. So I'm gonna be taking the top on and off. So at that point, she's driving a hard top her whole life. She's never taken the top off by herself. It's not like you can flip a switch like you do in a car. Like my Vet, you unclip 2 clips, push the top down. That's it. It's not that. So I was like, whatever. Then he kept trying to sell me a Targa top, and I'm like, no, dude, I know. Well, it's the same as convertible. How about a really big sunroof? I'm like, nope, not even close to convertible. Can I jump over the door into the car? No, I can't. So I don't want it. So we left there. They were super friendly, super helpful, but didn't have anything for me. And then he said, oh, okay, your number, blah, 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 and stuff. And I find something. I said, dude, I don't want used. So there's nothing you can do for me. So I was like, oh, whatever. So left there, went down to the next dealership, got to them, talked to those guys and stuff, and walked in, and their answer was absolutely not. Don't have anything convertible on our line, which is Volvo. They used to make a G70 or something, I think it was. That was convertible. And I guess they don't make that anymore, so they don't have a convertible line. I'm like, okay, so they don't have nothing there. So I went down to the next one, which would end up, stopped in, talked to them, and Mini was closed, and BMW is closed. So I ended up stopping at the Mercedes dealership, and they only had 2 Mercedes out front that were both convertible. One's an AMG at $125,000, $140,000 for a big, beautiful AMG, and they had a E450 convertible out front that said closeout on it, but I don't know how much they were taking off. It was I think it was 96,000 or some crap. Beautiful car. Said she only went white. This car's pretty. It's a really pretty car. The E450 is a beautiful thing. It's got light gray wood interior. It's got blue carpeting, light seats so you don't get melted in the sun. You put your into it. It's amazing. And basically the guy was not real helpful. And I'm like, you don't have any SLs? You don't have anything else here? I'm gonna go choose. I'm like, kind of like, well, can you show me one? Like, can you show me pictures? Can you tell me what you have, what's available? What can you get from other dealerships, have it shipped in? And I'm like, I don't want to drive all over the state looking for shit that doesn't exist, kind of thing. And unhelpful at all. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I drove on down, and the last dealership on the right is a Nissan dealership, and I assumed they still made, like, I know I've seen Nissans that are convertibles in the past. Apparently don't make those anymore either. I was like, they don't make any convertibles? He walks over and picks up a pamphlet off the shelf to start looking at shit. I'm like, dude, the only knowledge you have of your line is what's in a pamphlet? Like, how long have you been selling these cars? I've only been here like 4 years. I'm like, 4 years? You don't know if they have a convertible in the line? Like, holy shit, you guys are incompetent. And then he was trying to sell me a used something they had. I said, I don't want anything used. I want nothing used. 160-point inspection. Like, I don't give a shit. I don't want nothing used. If I'm going used, I'm going 1960 something, and just plan on replacing everything on my own this time. But yeah, so impressed. So I wasted basically half my day just driving on dealerships and realizing how incompetent and how inefficient and bad people are at business. And I'm just like, oh my Lord, this is awful. So I drove from there over to BJ's to get myself some soda. No Mountain Dew in the building. They're completely out of Mountain Dew. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I wasn't real happy about that, but it is what it is. I left there. Didn't end up buying anything because soda was what I was after. 90% of what I was after was there. Had a couple other things I probably would have got, but the lines were crazy busy because it's a busy Saturday. I wasn't going to wait in line to get some crap I didn't really need. So left there. From there, headed on back. Drove down home. Ended up swinging by the mechanic shops. Got my Suburban. Talked to him for a couple minutes. Like, hey man, I understand you got some shit in your life going on, but I need to get this thing moving. He said they're supposed to work on it tomorrow. They're going to supposedly get it hard tomorrow, blah, blah. Sounds like he's got the girl working on it only, so who the hell knows? I don't know. I need to go talk to her and be like, how much they paying you per day? And I'll just pay you this extra to get this shit done. Like, it's above your guys' pay grade. Then you just come pick it up with a tow truck and bring it home, do it my damn self. Then you just go up there and do it myself up there too. But who the hell knows? Kind of is what it is. So I probably should have spent the day working on my Suburban today instead of running around to not going to the aquarium show and not looking for my wife a car, because I should have just worked on the damn Suburban myself. So I should have done. I don't have any dogs here, but it is what it is. Had a client reach out, wanted to do a meet and greet for tomorrow. Got it set up and it's all good to go there. So we'll see how that breaks down. And then she reached back out like, no, can we do it the next day instead? I'm like, that's fine, whatever. So we're doing it Tuesday instead. So it's all set up, it's all good. So anyway, that's all I got for right now. I'll get back. How are you guys doing?
I'm good, how are you?
Better than I deserve. So I got back to the house. I talked to my mechanic for a few minutes. Went ahead and get my run in, and then basically chilled out a little bit. Kind of hung around the hot tubs up at 102, so it'll be 104 by morning, which is awesome. So that's great. Ended up having sloppy joes, which we ended up using lamb and pork. We had them made in 2 separate pans so we could see if you can tell the difference, and we could tell the difference. My wife wasn't that big a fan of the lamb. I didn't mind it, but it's not that big a difference. It's just low quality ground up lamb, so it's not a real big deal there. But knocked that out, had that for dinner, watched a little episode of Grace and Frankie, and then headed outside, enjoy myself a cigar, and a little chilly out there, a little on the chilly side, so kind of is what it is. But anyway, that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.